In honor of the President and Congress reopening the horrible argument on video game violence being responsible for people reacting violently, I've decided to help them get video games banned entirely by providing other examples of terrible behavior video games are directly responsible for, including but not limited to driving, horrible construction, zombies, parkour, fighting, oh yeah, animal violence too. So if you're ready to jump in and join me in giving a big you to video games, let's get this started. Driving. The number one cause of road rage in America, baby. Woo! The majority of people can't do it, and that seems to be a problem nowadays. Like, how hard is it to drive, really? You just stay on your side of the road, you stay in your lane, you signal when you're changing. But in video games, you don't have to signal, you don't have to brake. Red lights are a suggestion. So are stop signs. You can do whatever you want in these video games when you're driving, and there is no consequences. You hit another car, you just drive off, and it's all good. You won't get pulled over for speeding. You can speed all you want and it's always fine. You can swerve, you can bump, you text some game, and then people try to do the same thing in real life. But in real life, the consequences are dangerous. You hit another car, you can lose your life, or you can lose your license, or you can kill someone else. Then you go to jail. But these things don't happen in video games, and that's why video games cause terrible drivers.
Construction. What can we say about it? 1 second you're locked outside of a steel door, and the next you're beating it with your hammer that you made out of sticks, rocks, and plant fibers. Just knocking it down like it's nothing. Some days, some people with their giant pickaxes can level a full house, make it shake to its core and fall to the ground. That's what video games have taught us about construction. And you know what? Sometimes in real life this is accurate. Every now and then you find a house where if you just move one brick, it just comes tumbling down, just like nothing ever happened. And video games have to be blamed for this, because back in my day, the 1920s, houses were sturdy and they could take a lot more. But not anymore, and I believe we have video games to blame for that. And just check out this monstrosity. What is this? They call that a modern home, and that's not even practical. But I guess they are building houses the size of people's closets nowadays, and we have video games to blame for that.
This is how.
It's a thriller night and the creepy crawlies are out to get you. Games like Call of Duty and the Resident Evil series have brought these babies back from the grave and made them a mainstream hit. Such a hit that we have to fear The Walking Dead in our everyday lives. Don't believe me? A simple Google search for "Are Zombies Real?" spawns millions of hits on whether zombies are real. You can even purchase zombie survival kits that can cost you your retirement or your first newborn child. And there's something addictive about the sound they make when you shred them to bits. Is there a zombie outbreak coming anytime soon? I don't know, but video games are directly responsible for making us think there's a chance. Actually, I'll let this one slide.
Holy Oh my god! Oh my god!
Adrenaline junkies everywhere rejoiced when Parkour burst onto the scene, and everyone with a pulse thought they can do it. Unfortunately, this is one of those things where one misstep can end it all. Games like Assassin's Creed and Mirror's Edge took this trend to the next level. Even though it looks cool, it's something that we shouldn't all do. Even though video games make us think we can. Why would you want to jump from building to building anyway? That's scary. Buildings are high. Human beings are naturally peaceful and would never engage in violent acts against one another. In fact, the first fight between humans came after video games decided this was a cool concept, especially since the FGC is a rabid and passionate bunch. Fighting games are one of the most popular genres of gaming, with millions of players competing for prizes in tournaments daily. This spawned sports like boxing and MMA. It's sickening to believe that a human would fight another, but when video games make it cool to win in the most violent way possible, it serves as a training video for the real world. Animals just want to be loved and snuggled by their human friends. But video games teach us to catch them in balls and make them fight so we can profit, selling them false promises of friendship, abandoning them for the new generation. It's sickening. And who can forget this monster? He made his mark by abusing animals, stepping on their tiny little heads, pushing them into volcanoes, using their shells to kill other animals. It's just wrong. Hashtag I stand with PETA. Take down Mario. Video games! So this is why video games should be banned. Now how about movies? TV, internet, music, and other forms of media. We all know the difference between fiction and reality. There's no direct relation between video games and violence or video games and any of these things. We live in a society of copycats. You see something happen somewhere and someone decides, hey, I'm going to go try that too. And you can find most of this stuff in a history book. And studies show there's no direct impact from video games on the way people think, making them more violently or less violently. More violently or less violently. I can't talk. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you agree, disagree with some of these things, which most of them I just kind of made up, or if you guys can think of anything else that video games should irrationally be blamed for. Thanks for watching.